There's a reason spies survive in the world's most dangerous places, and it's not luck, it's instinct, it's awareness. It's the ability to vanish before the threat even realizes you were there. Welcome to Untold Spy Files, where today we're revealing real spy secrets that can save your life. Not movie tricks, not fantasies, but actual tactics used by intelligence operatives that ordinary people can use when danger strikes. Before we dive in, where are you watching from and what time is it there right now? Drop it in the comments. And if you want to stay alive in any situation, hit like, share, and subscribe. Because what you'll learn today might just save you one day. Now, imagine this. You're walking down a quiet street. You notice a man in a leather jacket has followed you for the last 3 turns. Most people would panic. A spy wouldn't. He'd switch from being the observed to the observer. Rule number 1. Awareness beats strength. Every agency, CIA, MI6, Mossad FSB, drills this into their recruits. Always know who's around you. Where the exits are, what's unusual, what's off. Spies call it the baseline, the rhythm of a place. Once you know the baseline, the normal, anything abnormal, jumps out like a spotlight in the dark. Next time you enter a cafe, try this. Before ordering, look around for 2 exits. Count how many people are in the room, and note who's watching you. That's a spy's first line of defense, situational dominance. It's how they spot traps before they're sprung. Rule 2. Never move in straight lines. Sounds simple, but it's deadly effective. Real operatives never walk the same route twice. They vary their paths, their timing, even their clothing style day to day. Why? Because predictability is vulnerability. Surveillance teams rely on patterns. They map your habits, your routines. Break those, and you become invisible. Rule 3. The gray man principle. The best disguise isn't a fake mustache. It's invisibility through ordinariness. The gray man blends in completely. Not too clean, not too dirty. Not too confident, not too shy. He disappears in plain sight. That's why real field agents often look boring. Jeans, sneakers, neutral jacket, quiet presence. In spy tradecraft, the loudest man in the room is usually the easiest to follow. The quiet one, he's the threat. Rule 4. Don't run. Vanish. Movies show spies sprinting down streets and jumping across rooftops. Real spies disappear. If they're being tailed, they use misdirection. Step into a store, change their jacket, put on glasses, grab a shopping bag, walk out the back exit. In under 30 seconds, they're a different person. You can use that too. If ever followed, don't panic. Change pace, enter a crowd, use reflections in windows to confirm surveillance, and make small shifts that break a pursuer's line of sight. Rule 5. Control your emotions. Espionage training destroys impulsiveness. Spies learn to act calm when terrified and stay alert when relaxed. You can't fake calm. It comes from practice. Breathing control, posture awareness, micro movements. If your heart's racing, slow your breath to 4 counts in, 4 counts out. Your body obeys your rhythm. And a calm body fools danger. Because predators, human or otherwise, sense fear. But let's go deeper, because the modern world's dangers aren't only physical. Surveillance is digital now. Rule 6. Your phone is your biggest enemy. Intelligence agencies say it bluntly. Your smartphone is a spy that never sleeps. It tracks movement, behavior, even micro vibrations in your voice. Want to stay safe? Learn what spies call digital compartmentalization. Use separate devices for different identities. Never mix personal and professional. Disable Bluetooth and Wi-Fi when not needed. Don't store sensitive information on cloud drives. And never, ever click unknown links. Even top-level operatives have been compromised by a single tap. Rule 7. Always leave breadcrumbs, but only the ones you control. When operating in hostile zones, agents leave subtle physical signs for allies. A mark on a lamppost, a folded newspaper, a misplaced object, all to communicate silently. You can apply that in your life too. When traveling alone or entering risky situations, tell one trusted person your last location, your expected time of return, and a panic code message. It's not paranoia, it's survival insurance. Now, let's test your instincts. Imagine you're trapped in a foreign city during a crisis, communications down, chaos outside. How do you find safety? Spies rely on Rule 8, local integration. The moment you enter an unknown zone, blend. Observe how people talk, move, greet, dress, mirror it subtly. The less you stand out, the safer you are. When U.S. agents operated undercover in Middle Eastern war zones, the ones who survived weren't the strongest. They were the best at disappearing into culture. There's also Rule 9, perception control. The spy who controls how others see him controls the situation. This isn't about lying, it's about managing energy. Ever notice how some people walk into a room and seem instantly harmless? That's deliberate. Trained agents regulate micro-expressions, controlling fear, anger, attraction. You can do the same. Your posture, gaze, and tone can either provoke aggression or dissolve it. And then there's the unspoken Rule 10. Trust no one completely. Even in daily life, betrayal often comes from familiarity. Every spy knows, the moment you let emotional trust override logical observation, you lose. Keep empathy, but never blind faith. Whether it's online scams, business deals, or relationships, the principle stands. Verify, don't assume. But perhaps the most vital lesson isn't tactical, it's psychological. Real espionage teaches that survival isn't just about tools, it's about mindset. Spies are taught to think 2 moves ahead, to see the world as a chessboard of motives. Every decision has consequences. Every gesture can signal intent. When you start to think like that, calmly, strategically, detached from panic, you gain what spies call operational advantage. It's not paranoia, it's preparation. So the next time you sense something wrong, don't ignore it. Your instincts evolved for survival. That's your built-in alarm system. A true spy listens to that whisper before the scream, and this is just the beginning. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into the psychological manipulation techniques that intelligence operatives use, and how recognizing them can protect you from being deceived, scammed, or controlled in your own life. Because the battlefield isn't always outside, sometimes it's inside your mind. But before we move next, tell me this. Have you ever felt someone was watching you, following you, or just off? Drop your story in the comments below. And if you're still here, that means you're one of the rare ones who think like a spy. So, hit like, share, and subscribe, because the next part may change the way you see the world. Forever. Every spy knows, before a bullet is fired, before a code is broken, before an agent is burned, the real battle happens in the mind. It's not strength that wins in espionage. It's control. Control of emotions. Control of reactions. Control of others. And if you think these tactics only belong in dark rooms and smoke-filled safe houses, think again. Because these same psychological spy tricks are used every single day in boardrooms, in negotiations, in relationships, and in scams that fool millions. The first truth of espionage psychology. People don't see reality. They see what they expect. Intelligence officers use this blind spot ruthlessly. When MI6 trained Cold War agents in deception, they didn't teach them how to lie. They taught them how to guide belief. Want someone to believe your cover story? Give them one small detail that matches their expectation. That's called anchoring. Once someone accepts one truth, their mind automatically fills in the rest. You see it in cons, you see it in politics. And yes, you see it in interrogations. A skilled operative can make you confess without threats or violence. They'll simply agree with you. You're not a bad person, they'll say. Anyone would have done the same. That's the oldest psychological trick in the book. ego alignment. Make the target feel understood and their defenses drop. Then, slip in the question that matters most. Next rule: silence is a weapon. In the Mossad's psychological training manuals, silence is listed as one of the most powerful interrogation tools. Because silence makes people uncomfortable, and in that discomfort, they reveal themselves. In social psychology, it's called the silence gap. The average person can't tolerate more than 4 seconds of silence in a conversation. Spies use that gap. They wait, watch your micro-expressions, and listen for your subconscious to fill the void. You can use that, too. In arguments, negotiations, even job interviews, say your point, then stay quiet. Watch how people scramble to fill the silence. You'll see their real intentions spill out. Then there's mirroring, another psychological weapon straight out of intelligence playbooks. It's subtle, invisible, and devastatingly effective. When you copy someone's posture, speech, rhythm, or breathing pace, their subconscious starts to trust you. It's why undercover agents can walk into a criminal cell and build rapport within minutes. To the brain, similarity equals safety, and trust, even false trust, equals access. But the darker side of spy psychology is emotional mapping. Intelligence officers are trained to read people like code. They study your words, tone, gaze, hesitation. They're not listening for what you say. They're listening for why you say it. Every emotion leaves a trace. Every fear gives leverage. That's why real spies rarely raise their voice. They don't need to. They let you expose yourself. One of the most fascinating declassified CIA training principles from the Cold War was called the sympathy trap. Agents would pretend vulnerability, share a small personal weakness to appear human. The target, feeling empathy, would mirror that by revealing something of their own. That's how countless double agents were recruited, not through threat, but through emotional reflection. So how do you protect yourself? Learn emotional detachment. When someone praises you too much, offers help too quickly, or makes you feel deeply seen, pause. Ask yourself, why are they giving me this energy? Because in intelligence, there's no such thing as coincidence. Manipulators often use speed. They move fast to bypass your logical brain. That's how cult recruiters, scammers, and abusers work. The defense: slow things down. Time is the enemy of deception. Then comes the art of reading microsignals. Real field agents trained to observe involuntary reactions. The 0.2-second flashes of real emotion that cross a person's face before they can hide it. Psychologists call them micro-expressions. A flicker of contempt, a flash of fear, a tightening of the jaw. These betray lies faster than any polygraph. You can practice this yourself. Next time someone lies, watch their eyes. Genuine emotion engages the muscles around the eyes. Fake emotion doesn't. There's also body space reading. Spies notice how people orient their feet and shoulders. Feet point toward what we want and away from what we fear or dislike. In meetings, if someone's body angles away from you, their mind already has. In confrontations, if their feet stay planted but shoulders turn, they're conflicted, defensive but trapped. These tiny details let you read a person's true stance without a single word. Now let's talk about one of the darkest skills of espionage: gaslighting, the weapon of confusion. It's not just a term, it's a full psychological operation. Intelligence agencies use it to disorient targets, making them doubt their own perception, change minor details, move an object, contradict old statements. The goal isn't to convince, it's to exhaust the mind into surrender. In the civilian world, manipulators do the same. They twist reality so you question your own memory. And once that happens, control is complete. Defense: keep written reality. When confused or pressured, document things. Notes, screenshots, voice memos, anchors to truth. Spies call this information anchoring. Because once your perception is protected by evidence, manipulation collapses. But perhaps the most frightening psychological weapon used in espionage is projection. When someone accuses you of the very thing they're doing, that's projection. Intelligence officers use it during interrogations to shift guilt. A spy caught red-handed might accuse their interrogator of dishonesty, forcing them to defend themselves instead. The best counter: don't defend. Observe. Silence disarms projection instantly. Now, let's flip the coin, because spies also use positive manipulation to survive, to protect, to extract. The art of persuasion without deception. Think of CIA negotiators who convinced warlords to surrender without a fight, or MI5 agents who talked terrorists into turning. The core principle: give people a way to win without losing face. That's universal psychology. If you want cooperation, never corner someone. Always leave an exit, even for your enemy. There's one more rule worth remembering: the illusion of choice. Spies never ask for something directly. They present two options, both leading to their desired outcome. It's psychological aikido, guiding energy, not fighting it. You see it everywhere, in sales, politics, even everyday conversations. Once you learn to spot it, you'll realize how much of life is guided by invisible hands. The question now is, can you outthink manipulation before it reaches you? Because this isn't a theory. These tactics run your news feeds, your social media, your daily life. Every algorithm is designed using psychological operations first developed for espionage. The war for control has simply moved from streets to screens. In the next chapter, we'll go further into spy survival tactics. The physical side. How to spot a tail, how to escape an ambush, how to use everyday objects as tools of defense. Lessons taken straight from real intelligence manuals used by the CIA, KGB, and Mossad. But before that, tell me something. Have you ever been manipulated by a boss, a partner, a friend, and realized it too late? Tell me in the comments how it felt and what you learned. And if you're ready to reclaim control, hit like, share, and subscribe. Because now we will tell you the kind of secrets that, in the right moment, might just save your life. Previously, we talked about awareness and showed you control of the mind. Now we will talk about the one rule spies live by. Escape is survival. Survival is intelligence. Because in the field, when everything collapses, your cover, your plan, your network, only your instincts and training decide whether you vanish or disappear forever. Now picture this. You're in a foreign city, late at night, your phone battery is dead. A car has followed you for 4 blocks. You're being hunted, and you don't even know who. This is the moment that separates civilians from operatives. Because spies are trained for one thing above all: to stay alive in hostile territory. Rule 1. Recognize the tail. The first sign of danger isn't when someone attacks, it's when someone observes. Intelligence agencies call it surveillance detection routes, or SDRs. A trained agent never takes the same path twice. They'll use checkpoints, reflections in glass, shop windows, parked cars to scan for repeating faces or vehicles. Civilians can do the same. Every time you walk or drive, notice one detail per block: a hat color, a license plate, a vehicle type. The same one appears again, you're being followed. The sooner you know, the higher your chances of survival. Rule 2. Create distance, not confrontation. Real spies avoid fights, because fighting draws attention. Escaping removes danger. If you suspect you're being followed, enter a public place, a crowded shop, hotel lobby, or transport hub. Never run immediately. Running confirms guilt and escalates pursuit. Instead, blend, act normal, calm like you belong. Surveillance relies on reactions. Your calmness destroys their pattern. Rule 3. Use the environment. Every city is a maze. To spies, it's a chessboard. In Cold War Berlin, KGB and CIA agents memorized escape corridors, alleys, overpasses, train lines, embassy routes. You should too. When you visit a place, mall, parking lot, street, silently note alternate exits. Fire stairs, back doors, elevators. You don't need to panic, just prepare. Preparation is an invisible power. Rule 4. Deception is your ally. Disappear without moving. If someone's tracking you, change your appearance subtly. Remove a hat, swap glasses, reverse a jacket. Carry a small folding shopping bag. Slip it over your arm to look like a local. In 15 seconds, you've created a new silhouette. Even professional trackers lose visual lock when a target alters their pattern under crowd pressure. Rule 5. Sound control. Real operatives move quietly, not because of stealth fantasies, but because noise betrays state of mind. Nervous movement makes noise. Calm movement blends into ambient sound. You can train this. Walk slowly, breathe evenly, synchronize steps with background noise like cars or foot traffic. In the chaos of urban survival, rhythm is camouflage. Then comes situational improvisation. What field manuals call using the ordinary as extraordinary. A scarf becomes a smoke cover. A pen becomes a defensive tool. A belt can bind, secure, or strike. Even your phone's flashlight in the dark can be used to blind an attacker for a second, and that second can save your life. Spies aren't trained to be superheroes. They're trained to adapt faster than fear. Let's go deeper. Escape tactics. During the 1980s, the CIA's Office of Technical Services (OTS), the real-life Q branch, trained agents to escape restraint using friction and leverage, not strength. Handcuffed with zip ties. Rub the central lock against a hard corner. Duct taped. Twist your wrists rapidly outward while raising your arms above your head. The tape snaps along its weakest axis, bound by rope. Create micro-movements to loosen slack. It's science, not magic. Your enemy counts on panic. You win by using calm logic under pressure. But survival isn't just escaping them, it's escaping yourself. The fear, the adrenaline, the confusion. Rule 6. Control your physiology. Every spy school, from CIA's Camp Peary to Russia's Yasenovo, drills operatives in stress inoculation. Because under fear, blood leaves your brain and rushes to your limbs, crippling decision-making. The trick is to anchor the mind before panic takes hold. One method. Tactical breathing. In 4 seconds, hold 4, exhale 4. Hold 4. It resets your nervous system, clears vision, sharpens thinking. Soldiers, agents, and pilots all use it because it works. Rule 7. Hide in plain sight. You don't need shadows to disappear. You need predictability. Real agents often walk directly toward the threat because attackers expect retreat. In Tel Aviv, Mossad instructors call this controlled exposure, the act of moving naturally through danger zones while projecting confidence. Humans subconsciously target hesitation. So the paradox: the calmer you appear, the less likely you are to be targeted. And remember, most ambushes happen where you feel safe. Parking lots, ATMs, familiar routes, because the human brain relaxes in routine. Spies learn to never let their guard drop fully. You can train this awareness too. When entering your home, scan your surroundings before unlocking the door. When exiting a car, check mirrors. Listen for silence. Something feels off, it probably is. But the most powerful survival tool isn't tactical. It's psychological. Decision before danger. Before walking into any place, mentally rehearse what you do if something goes wrong. Fire. Exit a confrontation. Route B. Panic crowds. Route C. It's not paranoia, it's neural priming. When your brain has a script ready, you act instantly instead of freezing. Intelligence agents survive chaos because their minds rehearsed it 100 times before it happened. Let's talk about counter-surveillance. How do spies detect a hidden camera, bug, or tracking device? The same way you can. Start with pattern recognition. Spies call it the sense of the out of place. Look for objects that don't belong. A smoke detector with a new lens, a clock that ticks irregularly, a car parked too long in the same spot. Technology betrays itself through inconsistency. Even modern micro-trackers emit subtle heat or electromagnetic fields, detectable through smartphone RF scanners or simple observation. Condensation on windows, battery warmth, flickering lights. Real safety begins with noticing. And then there's the art of disappearance. When CIA agents were trapped during failed operations, Tehran, Tripoli, East Berlin, their extraction depended on one skill: time dilation. Slow down your world. Each second of hesitation from the pursuer becomes 10 for you. Use barriers, doors, turns, traffic to fragment pursuit line of sight. Never run straight. Always angle turns, change speed, shift terrain. Think of it as vanishing in motion. But here's a truth no spy school advertises: you can't survive alone. Every operative, no matter how skilled, relies on anchors, people, allies, safe points. In your world, that's your network. Friends who check in, family who know your patterns, coworkers who notice changes. Always have a code word, a distress signal that looks innocent but signals danger. Intelligence agents use this daily. It's not fear, it's foresight. Finally, Rule 8. When escape isn't possible, control the narrative. In captivity, silence is your weapon. Never volunteer information. Stay calm, consistent, detached. Intelligence training teaches a concept called limited disclosure, revealing just enough truth to maintain credibility while concealing core facts. It's how captured agents survive interrogation without breaking. In your daily life, the same rule protects you from manipulation, coercion, or scams. Say less, mean more. Every spy school, CIA, FSB, Mossad, DGSE, ends survival training with the same mantra: live to report another day, because the mission means nothing if the agent doesn't make it home. The same applies to you. Survival isn't about being fearless, it's about being ready. And when you truly see the world like a spy, not through paranoia, but through clarity, everything changes. You see exits others ignore. You sense threats others miss. You think before emotion takes over. That's not espionage. That's awareness evolved. Now the question is, how far would you go to protect yourself and those you love? Because in the final chapter, we'll go beyond tactics and psychology, into the hidden spy secrets used for digital safety. Social engineering awareness and deception proofing your life in the 21st century. The modern battlefield isn't fought in alleys or embassies anymore. It's fought in your phone, your data, your mind. But before we move to the finale, tell me, what's the most dangerous situation you've ever escaped from? Drop your story below. The silence of danger is often louder than the noise of fear. When your instincts scream, but the world around you seems calm, that's when a spy's training begins to show. For decades, intelligence officers have mastered the art of staying alive, of reading the invisible signals in plain sight. They survive not by luck, but by logic. And in this final chapter, we uncover their ultimate code, a series of principles that can mean the difference between panic and control, between capture and escape, between life and death. Rule number 1: awareness beats strength. A spy's most powerful weapon isn't a gun or gadget, it's perception. Whether walking through a crowded street or sitting in a cafe, agents are trained to construct a mental map of their surroundings within seconds. Who's looking twice? Which car has been parked too long? Which exit is unguarded? They know that danger doesn't announce itself. It lingers quietly. The same applies to everyday life. The person staring at their phone, but never scrolling. The vehicle following you for 3 turns. Those are clues, not coincidences. Rule number 2: control your breathing, control the chaos. In the middle of an ambush, when adrenaline floods the body, a trained operative slows everything down by mastering their breath. This isn't meditation, it's survival. A slow inhale through the nose, 4 seconds. Hold it for 2. Then a controlled exhale through the mouth. It stabilizes the hands, clears the mind, sharpens the eyes. Civilians under attack or trapped in a crisis often freeze. But those who focus on their breath take control of time itself. They stop reacting and start acting. Rule number 3, blend, don't run. Running draws attention. Blending erases you. During the Cold War, KGB defectors escaping across Berlin were taught to walk toward danger if it meant becoming invisible. Blend into a group, match their pace, mirror their expressions. The human brain ignores what it expects to see, so spies manipulate that expectation. In a crisis, the same principle applies. Disappear into routine. Move calmly. When chaos erupts, the loudest person dies first. The quietest one survives. Rule number 4, hide information, not just objects. The best spies don't hide secrets in safes. They hide them in plain sight. A coded message written as a shopping list. A phone number split between 2 receipts. A meeting date hidden in the first letters of each sentence. When operating under surveillance, they use the mundane to mask the extraordinary. In daily life, this means protecting your digital footprint. Don't post your location. Don't reveal patterns, your gym hours, your favorite cafe, your route home. Predictability is vulnerability. Rule number 5, escape starts before capture. Intelligence agencies train agents to visualize their exit before they even walk into a meeting. Every spy has what's called an E&E plan, escape and evasion. If something goes wrong, they already know where the nearest safe point is, who can be trusted, and how to disappear. In a real-world scenario, this is situational preparation. When entering a hotel room, notice secondary exits. When parking, reverse into the spot for a quicker getaway. Always know your route out, physically and mentally. Rule number 6, use deception as a shield, not a weapon. Spies lie, but the smartest ones lie with purpose. A lie told to survive isn't the same as one told to manipulate. During World War II, British agents disguised entire invasion plans to mislead the Nazis, not for greed, but to save lives. In daily survival, deception means strategy. If someone asks where you live, don't be precise. If someone pressures you for details, redirect. Information is currency. Never give it away for free. Rule number 7, trust but verify. Even in the deepest trenches of espionage, betrayal is an occupational hazard. Double agents, false friends, planted informants, all can look genuine. The key is verification. A true spy never assumes loyalty. They confirm it. In life, this translates to emotional intelligence. Listen to patterns, watch actions, not words. If something doesn't align, it probably isn't true. Spies are taught to believe behavior, not promises. You should too. Rule number 8, adapt or die. The landscape of espionage and survival changes constantly. What saved you yesterday might expose you tomorrow. When technology replaced paper, spies learned encryption. When cameras appeared on every street, they mastered misdirection. Adaptability isn't optional, it's instinctual. In crisis situations, natural disasters, confrontations, or accidents, those who adapt first live longest. Change is the spy's religion. Rule number 9, calm is contagious. Fear spreads fast, but so does composure. An undercover operative in a collapsing regime doesn't survive by hiding in panic. They survive by steadying others. Calm people become invisible. They blend into control. In hostage situations, spies are taught to lower their voice, slow their gestures, and project safety, because panic draws focus. When you radiate calm, chaos ignores you. And finally, rule number 10, trust your gut, train your instinct. Behind every decision in the field, a spy listens to one voice: intuition. Not superstition, but subconscious pattern recognition built through observation and repetition. When something feels off, it often is. Your body recognizes danger before your brain articulates it. That's not fear, that's data. The spy's trick is simple. Listen. These 10 rules form what many in intelligence circles call the survival code. It's not written in any manual, nor taught in any school. It's passed from one operative to another, through scars, through stories. Through the quiet knowledge that awareness and preparation are humanity's oldest defenses. Because survival isn't luck, it's discipline, it's awareness, it's adaptability. And in the end, you don't have to be a spy to think like one. You just have to see the world as it truly is. Unpredictable, unstable, and full of signals waiting to be read. In the world of espionage, the difference between life and death is 1 second of hesitation. But for those who know the code, 1 second is all they need to live.